live from the VMAC in Renton. I'm Osvita Maria for the CascadiaSports.net report. And today we heard from the three assistant coordinators in the official role. They spoke to the media, and here's what they had
in the
to
sense
say.
that, maybe not the prototypical over the top loudest guy, on the field. It's you don't. Some coaches are you get a little bit of everything, right? And he's a guy who's just really cerebral, and I found him very interesting when he was younger because he's obviously really smart, very measured in his approach, very thoughtful when he speaks, and you could just tell that this guy's going places. You know what I mean? And when you pair that with the fact that he's a good guy, day in and day out, just hyper consistent. Those are the types of people that you want to have as your friends. In the sense that, maybe not the prototypical over the top loudest guy, on the field. It's you don't. Some coaches are you get a little bit of everything, right? And he's a guy who's just really cerebral, and I found him very interesting when he was younger because he's obviously really smart, very measured in his approach, very thoughtful when he speaks, and you could just tell that this guy's going places. You know what I mean? And when you pair that with the fact that he's a good guy, day in and day out, just hyper consistent. Those are the types of people that you want to have as your friends.
Just call me Aden, makes it simple, makes it easy, and then that's what I answer to. How the game's played, how people try and create space in the game, where the down and distance the situation is, how we attack the quarterback, how we make him uncomfortable, those kind of things. Just talk different things in the run game, how we attack different places. And it just kind of clicked, as we was going through it. And the conversation carried on, and, time goes by, and you don't feel like time's going by, and you just know that you're kind of with the right people. When you're thinking about that, the way I kind of look at it and the way we kind of look at it, we talk about it, is like looking at it like three different levels, like us, okay? Really, how do we communicate and play on together as all three levels? I think, like, you watch the defense from Baltimore, they have a great way of playing on all three levels together. You see that they're connected, and I think that's a big part of the way you play. And then really the standard, you have the standard is the fabric of this building, bro. You can feel it when you walk in, and to come and add to that is really exciting. So it's like, how really are we fundamentally sound? Some of the things that Jay just talked about, like how we fundamentally sound, how we play in the standard we want to play as a group, and really the last thing is just attacking the ball. If we're attacking the ball, there's all the system stuff on top of that, but really in those three prongs, if you're rolling there, that's our kind of philosophy, and really how I've learned to build my kind of philosophy through my time in the league.
Important thing to note on that is, I met Mike about a year ago, started building a relationship, and, not with any necessarily end in mind, but just how the process goes in the football world. And I got to know him throughout, a couple different conversations, and just kind of built that relationship over time, and, kind of knew that potentially there'd be an opportunity like this down the line. Didn't necessarily think it'd happen the very first year, but that was really the first part, and just staying in communication. As Mike obviously had a great season as a coordinator for the Ravens, and knew that his name would come up in some search opportunities, and luckily for me, he ended right here in Seattle. Translation up front is really important. I've always felt like Scott was a NFL caliber line coach. He's had opportunities to leave in the past, and so to be able to do it and have our system, I think it really helps. The installation process and the beginning points for the team, just to be able to help with the translation part, that you don't have to worry about how things are going to be taught or said and things like that. So I think it's a huge component, certainly. I think, when you look at what we did, probably more specifically at UW over the last two seasons, we were, accentuating the positives. And there's three receivers that are probably going to get drafted this year. And so I think, moving the football through the air was a logical choice. And we are going to be a physical team in Seattle. And over the years, that's something that we've certainly done when the components all matched up. We ran the ball very effectively. And I look forward to it. I think that when you have an established run game, it makes calling those other plays, the auxiliary plays off of it, a lot easier, honestly. It's when you don't have the presence of a run game that things can get really tricky to people. So no scheme or anything like that, but he's great. He's a competitor. He wants to be coached. He wants to be the best. It means a lot to him. And just hearing his story and his growth as a player and a person is inspiring, honestly. So I'm really fired up and looking forward to coaching him and Drew both. They're both wonderful guys, and they're competitors. City in a place that I already love, and have had 2 years to, kind of let it marinate as far as, what John Snyder does here and the ownership with the Seahawks and just how classy of an organization this is and how driven they are to success. It makes it really special. When you think about making this step, you want to do it hopefully with a program organization that you believe in, and so to be able to do that was,
All right,
unbelievable.
so there you go. Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator. Aden Durden, AD, as you like to be called, is a defensive coordinator, and Jay Harbaugh is the special teams coordinator. So, what does it mean? What did we hear? Look, with Ryan Grubb, Mike McDonald is assembling this crew, which is the brightest, youngest, and most innovative minds in the game right now. Now, they're young, but he went out and got Ryan Grubb because of Grubb's ability to be innovative. We talk about the pre-snap things, to move the defense around. And what that does is he wants an offense that's going to set the tone on the defense. They are going to move that defense around, find weaknesses, and exploit it. On the defensive side, AD, as he likes to be called, Arden Darden, is same thing if you flip the script. It's a defense that is going to attack the offense. They're going to make that quarterback feel uncomfortable. They're going to make that running back feel uncomfortable and the rest of that offense. And then in terms of Jay Harbaugh, special teams coordinator, they're going to play solid football and give you that extra edge in games because that's what you want from your special teams. They're not going to lose the game at the least, but a good special teams is going to give you that edge in field position and those things. So we heard from a creative, innovative team, and this is what Jay Harbaugh and also Mike McDonald and AD and also Ryan Grubb are putting together. Now they all got to know each other and they're learning each other, but it should be an exciting season, and we'll know exactly where the Seahawks uh, direction is going. Is as coming up on some player contracts that are coming up here, and then also the combine is coming up. So live from the VMAC in Renton, I'm Asvita Mara.